We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the New York Giants. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tevin Coleman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Now, that's a pretty play right there, and what I'm thankful for is it wasn't me in that situation, because one of the toughest things about defending the deep ball is not panicking, because the longer you run with a receiver, you're trying to figure out, am I close to him? Can I make a play on the football? Will I be there when the ball actually arrives, what we call the moment of truth? And in this case, the defender did not panic, stayed right with it, and batted it away.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll try and run forward Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
And you remember pre-draft, there was a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe...
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. New York set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. That one goes for 24 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. It's brought in left side by Tate. First catch so far for Tate, and he's got a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch him now, Barney.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Josh Jones in on the stop. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. In for the score. And the Giants are in for 6. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Rosas now to kick this one away. Jerick McKinnon now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Go ahead.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. It's Barkley on the counter. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Muscles by it. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Giants. big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 21-7. Rosas now to kick this one away. To return, it's McKinnon. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take...
This is caught inside the 15. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. Garoppolo able to find Goodwin for a big one. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Coleman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
A first carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Kyle Juszczyk, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Gold with the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Giants on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's Coleman. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Coleman has it here right side. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more after this. Garoppolo on 1st down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, team. 12, fellas, here we go. Check 31, check 31. Hey, gun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. On the move to his left. His throw caught at about the 5. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
Hey, we got 4 down. Check. Go ahead.
They'll toss it to Coleman. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I thought they did a really nice job stringing it out and not allowing him to turn upfield, knocked him out for no gain. I think if you're going to go outside in this situation, keep it in the hands of your quarterback. Give him some options. Run it, pass it, pitch it. Just something to have a chance to get into the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And how about this decision? Tie game first half, but here's an onside kick. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime. And to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half. The same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. From the gun, Jackson being chased out left. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun, Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It's caught at the 10. A big play there for the Giants. 58 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now it's Jackson. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. From the gun, Jackson. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, what, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
He's going to go for a big play downfield, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Flushed out right, and he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. A handoff to Barkley, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here we go.
play fake. Garoppolo. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Garoppolo looks to throw, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll go with the keeper, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo keeping it himself from a yard out. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So that'll back him up 5. Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And we are all tied at 28. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. He's at the 30, past the 20. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Gold with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Running left, it's Barkley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Flush to his right. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. To return, it's McKinnon. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. This is Coleman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
11, 11, 11, 11.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And a nice spin into some open field. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That goes for 15 yards on the fake, a first down. And a lot of fist pumps right now on that sideline. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Hey, slow down. I got you.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
13, 13. 11, 11. Go ahead.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
11, 11, 11, 11.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Oh, no, he lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. He dumps it off to Barkley. Call it a gain of 3. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Here's Coleman on the toss. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. A hit as he throws there. Incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the...
It's caught inside the 25. Garoppolo able to find Goodwin for a big one. 43 yards. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. As it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 16. Now Garoppolo. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board. But give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
After the interception, here's Jackson. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that answers the question in my head. They're going to go for the win right now.
I think you're absolutely right. They're not content with going to OT. Steps away to his left. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A huge play there in overtime. 45 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Hurry up! Go ahead. 12, fellas, here we go.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. That is caught inside the 5. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime. A little whipped cream on top.
Look at you. Tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the 49ers, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.